Hi there, welcome to Tech Center. This is Joshua and I'm going to make a 5-part series where I'll show you how to program a 2D zombie survival game in Python. After posting all 5 parts, I'm going to combine all 5 videos and post it as a single long video. In this video I'm using Python 3.8.3. I have posted a video showing you how to install Python 3.8.3. This video is the 3rd part of the series, and today I will be showing you how to create the game procedure. I will put links to the other parts in the comments section below when they are released. Before we jump into the video, please subscribe and click the notification bell to receive future videos from my channel. If you haven't already watched the 2nd part of the series, I have put a link in the description box below so you can watch the video. If you have any questions or comments about this video, please contact me via email at 4techcenter@gmail.com. First of all, let's open Python from the Windows Programmings list. Click Start, scroll down to Python 3.8 folder, click on Python 3.8 folder, then click on Idle Python 3.8. Once the Python 3.8 shell is open, click on File, and then click on Open. We are going to open the file that we saved in the previous videos. So I saved it in the default folder and I called it infection. Go find your file and click on it and then click on open. Once your file is open, close the shell and maximize the Python programming window. After this, scroll down. And this is where we left off. We left off at the bottom. Step 10. Creating the game procedure. We're going to create a procedure called game. Let's do that. Def space game, open brackets, widgets, comma space game mode. Make sure game mode is a single word, comma space endless high score. Make sure endless high score is a single word and it has a capital H. Close brackets, colon, enter. First of all, we're going to remove widgets from the home screen. Let's do that. Clear capital W widgets, open brackets, widgets, close brackets, enter, enter. Now let's reveal the graves that we created in the previous video. Currently they're hidden. Now we're going to show them. For space part space in space graves, colon, enter. Part dot st, open brackets, close brackets, enter, enter, backspace. That's 2 enters and 1 backspace. Now we're going to reveal the player. The player is also hidden. Player dot st, open brackets, close brackets, enter, enter. Now let's also show the enemies. For enemy in space enemies, colon, enter. Enemy dot st, open brackets, close brackets, enter, enter, backspace. That's 2 enters and 1 backspace. Now we're going to create a few procedures for the main loop, which is going to be our next step. First of all, we're going to create the tick procedure. Now this is for player movement. Let's create it. Def space tick, open brackets, close brackets, colon, enter. For space action, space in space keys, capital P pressed, colon, enter. Actions, open square brackets, action, close square brackets, open brackets, close brackets, enter, enter, backspace. That's 2 enters and 1 backspace. Now we're going to have to loop this procedure, so we're going to repeat it after 33 seconds. wn.onTimer, open brackets, tick, comma space 33, close brackets, enter, enter, backspace. So now we've created the tick procedure. We're going to create the chase procedure. Now this is for the enemies to chase the player. Let's do that. def space chase, open brackets, enemy, comma space enemy speed. Make sure enemy speed has a capital S, and make sure enemy speed is a single word. Close brackets, colon, enter. Enemy dot set heading. Make sure set heading is a single word. Open brackets, enemy dot towards. Open brackets, player. Close brackets, enter, enter. Now, what we've done in this line is we've made the enemy face where the player is, so it's going to look at where the player is. Next, we're going to make it move towards the player. To do that, we're just going to constantly move the player forward. Let's do that. Enemy.fd, open brackets, enemy, capital S speed, close brackets, enter, enter. Now we're going to check if it's game over or not. That's because we don't want the enemy to chase the player if it's game over, because then the game over screen will keep on repeating. So let's do that. If space open brackets alive space equals space capital T true, close brackets, colon, enter. wn dot on timer, open brackets, lambda, colon, space chase, open brackets, enemy, comma space enemy, capital S speed, close brackets, comma space 100, close brackets, enter, enter, backspace, backspace. That's 2 enters and 2 backspaces. Now in this procedure the enemy just constantly chases the player if the player is alive, but we don't want to do that at the very start. We only want to make them appear 1 at a time or 2 at a time, and that's dependent on how far we are in the game. So to do that, we're going to create another procedure, and this is called enemy activities. So we're going to create a variable called condition, def space enemy capital A activities. Make sure enemy activities is a single word and it has a capital A. Open brackets, condition, comma space enemy, comma space enemy capital S speed, comma space position, close brackets, colon, enter. If space condition space equals space capital T true, colon, enter. Enemy dot go to, open brackets, position, close brackets, enter. Chase, open brackets, enemy, comma space enemy speed. Make sure enemy speed has a capital S, close brackets, enter, enter, backspace, backspace. That's 2 enters and 2 backspaces. Now in this procedure what we've done is we've created a condition by passing it through as a parameter, and if that condition is true, the enemy will go to its starting position, then it will start to chase the player. Now we're going to create a procedure for doing nothing. Def space do capital N nothing, open brackets, close brackets, colon, enter. Pass, enter, enter. That's 2 enters. So the reason we've created this procedure is so that when we lose the game, we don't actually move. So if we lose the game, if we did not have this procedure, the player would be able to move around the screen. So that's why we created this procedure. Now we're going to create a procedure for an instance where it's game over. Def space game capital O over, open brackets. Now we're going to pass through the ending as a parameter, ending, close brackets, colon, enter. Now first of all we're going to clear the score pen so that all of the score is erased from the screen. Score capital P pen dot clear, close, open brackets, close brackets, enter, enter. Now let's hide all the parts to the grave. This is so that we can reset the screen back to the home page. Let's do that. For space part space in space graves :enter part.ht open brackets close brackets enter backspace. That's 2 enters and 1 backspace. Now we're going to reset the player, so we're going to reset its position and then we're going to hide it. Player.go_to open brackets 0, space 0, close brackets, enter. Now I'm going to set its direction. Currently it might be looking at another direction, for example up, left, right, or in a diagonal direction. So let's reset it back to 0, which is towards the right. Player.setHeading. Make sure set heading is a single word. Open brackets 0, close brackets, enter. So what we've done here is we've set it to 0, which is towards the right. If you wanted to face it to the left, it would be 180. Now we're going to hide the player. Player.ht open brackets close brackets enter. Now we're also going to reset the enemies. For enemy space in space enemies :enter. Enemy.goto open brackets 0, space 350 close brackets enter. So this is off the screen. Enemy.setHeading. Make sure set heading is a single word. Open brackets 0 close brackets enter. Again, we're setting it to the right. Enemy.ht open brackets close brackets enter backspace. So now we've hidden the enemies. Now we're going to create a 2-second delay. Let's use the time module for that. Time.sleep open brackets 2 close brackets enter. Now we're going to create the text on the screen. Let's do that. If space open brackets ending space equals space open quotation marks good close quotation marks close brackets :enter. Score P pen dot go to open brackets 0, space 0 close brackets enter. First of all, we're going to write congratulations. Score P pen dot write open brackets open quotation marks congratulations close quotation marks space move space equals space capital F false space font space equals space open brackets open quotation marks Courier. So I'm using Courier font. If you want, you can use another font. Close quotation marks space. I'm going to use font size 60 space open quotation marks bold close quotation marks close brackets space align space equals space open quotation marks center close quotation marks close brackets enter. Now we're going to move the pen so that it's below. Score P pen dot go to open brackets 0, space -85. So -85 is the y coordinate just below the writing here. Close brackets enter. Score P pen dot write open brackets open quotation marks you survive until 5 AM close quotation marks space move space equals space capital F false space font space equals space open brackets open quotation marks Courier close quotation marks space 15 space open quotation marks bold close quotation marks close brackets space align space equals space open quotation marks center close quotation mark, close brackets, enter backspace. That's one enter and one backspace. Else, colon, enter. So now we're going to create it for if we lose. So let's do that. Score capital P pen dot go to, open brackets, 0, comma, space, minus 50, close brackets, enter. Score capital P pen dot write, open brackets, open quotation marks, game over, close quotation marks, comma, space, move, space equals space, capital F false, comma, space, font, space equals space, open brackets, open quotation marks, courier, close quotation marks, comma, space, 65, comma, space, open quotation marks, bold, close quotation marks, close brackets, comma, space, align, space equals space, open quotation marks, center, close quotation marks, close brackets, enter, enter. So now we're going to create an if-else structure. This is for the writing below game over, because it depending on the game mode. So let's do that. If, space, open brackets, game mode, make sure game mode is a single word, space equals equals space, open quotation marks, fright, space, night, close quotation marks, close brackets, colon, enter. Score capital P pen dot go to, open brackets, 0, comma, space, minus 85, close brackets, enter. Score capital P pen dot write, open brackets, open quotation marks, U, space, survived, space, until, space, open curly brackets, close curly brackets, colon, open curly brackets, close curly brackets, space, space, that's 2 spaces, full stop, close quotation marks, dot format, open brackets, str, open brackets, hour, close brackets, dot zfill, open brackets, 2, close brackets. So what we've done here is we formatted this string, you survived until, and then the time. So we formatted it using these curly brackets, and in the first curly brackets we're going to put the hour. If the hour is not 2 digits, it's going to fill it with zeros. For example, if it's 1 AM, instead of showing 1 colon 00, it's going to show 01 colon 00. This is so it looks neat. Comma, space. We're going to do this with the minutes, so let's do that. str, open brackets, minute, close brackets, dot zfill, open brackets, 2, close brackets, comma, space, move, space equals space, capital F false, comma, space, font, space equals space, open brackets, open quotation marks, courier, close quotation marks, comma, space, 20, comma, space, open quotation marks, bold, close quotation marks, close brackets, comma, space, align, space equals space, open quotation marks, center, close quotation marks, close brackets, enter. Now we haven't written AM or PM, so we're going to write that now. This is because we're going to write it separately. Score capital P pen dot go to, open brackets, 189, comma, space, minus 85, close brackets, enter. Score capital P pen dot write, open brackets, open quotation marks, open curly brackets, close quotation marks, dot format, open brackets, period, close brackets, comma, space, move, space equals space, capital F false, comma, space, font, space equals space, open brackets, open quotation marks, courier, close quotation marks, comma, space, 18, comma, space, open quotation marks, bold, close quotation marks, close brackets, comma, space, align, space equals space, open quotation marks, center, close quotation marks, close brackets, enter, backspace. So right now we can't see the cursor and we can't see what we're typing. So to move it back to the left, scroll up, and as you can see, we've scrolled to the left. And if we go back down, you can see that we can see the cursor. Else, enter. So now we're going to do it for endless game mode. Score P pen dot go to, open brackets, 0, space minus 85, close brackets, enter. Score P pen dot write, open brackets, open quotation marks, your space final space score space was space open curly brackets, close curly brackets, full stop, close quotation marks, dot format, open brackets, score, close brackets, comma, space, move, space equals space, capital F false, comma, space, font, space equals space, open brackets, open quotation marks, courier, close quotation marks, comma, space, 20, comma, space, open quotation marks, bold, close quotation marks, close brackets, comma, space, align, space equals space, open quotation marks, center, close quotation marks, close brackets, enter, enter, backspace, backspace. That's 2 enters and 2 backspaces. Now we're going to create the home button. Home, capital B button, space equals space, capital B button, open brackets, canvas dot master, comma, space, text, space equals space, open quotation marks, backslash capital N, open curly brackets, house, close curly brackets, backslash N, home screen, close quotation marks, comma, space, font, space equals space, open brackets, open quotation marks, courier, close quotation marks, comma, space, 17, comma, space, open quotation marks, bold, close quotation marks, close brackets, comma, space, BG, space equals space, open quotation marks, white, close quotation marks, comma, space, FG, space equals space, open quotation marks, grey, make sure grey is spelt with an A and not an E, close quotation marks, comma, space, command, space equals space, capital N none, comma, space, relief, space equals space, open quotation marks, ridge, close quotation marks, close brackets, enter, enter. That was 2 enters. Now we're going to create a procedure to go back home. Let's do that. Def space go capital H home, open brackets, close brackets, colon, enter. Score capital P pen dot clear, open brackets, close brackets. So we're going to remove the score from the screen. The reason we've created this procedure is because we have 2 lines of code. If we did not need to remove all of the text from the screen, such as the score, we would only need 1 line of code. So we would not need this procedure. We would instead use lambda colon and then the function name and then the parameter. But we have 2 lines of code and we have to do 2 separate things. So we have to do this. Enter, enter, home capital S screen, open brackets, widgets, comma, space, endless capital H high score. Make sure endless high score is a single word and it has a capital H. Close brackets, enter, enter, backspace. That's 2 enters and 1 backspace. Now we're going to set this procedure as the function of command of this button. Home capital B button dot configure, open brackets, command, space equals space, go capital H home, close brackets, enter, enter. Now we're going to place the home button on the screen. Home capital B button, dot place, open brackets, x space equals space 315, comma space y space equals space 100, comma space width, space equals space 170, comma space height, space equals space 60, close brackets, enter, enter. Now we're going to add the button to the widgets. Dot append, open brackets, home capital B button, close brackets, enter, enter, backspace. That's 2 enters and 1 backspace. Again, we can't see our cursor, so we scroll all the way up and we scroll all the way back down. Now we can see the cursor. Now we're going to create a dictionary called actions. This is for the player movement. Let's do that. Actions, space equals space, dict, open brackets, f, space equals space, lambda, colon, space, player dot fd, open brackets, 10, close brackets, comma, space, l, space equals space, lambda, colon, space, player dot lt, open brackets, 10, close brackets, comma, space, r, space equals space, lambda, colon, space, player dot rt, open brackets, 10, close brackets again, enter, enter. Now we're going to create a set called keys pressed, keys capital P pressed, space equals space, set, open brackets, close brackets, enter, enter. Now we're going to make the screen listen to any keys that we're pressing. Let's do that. wn.listen, open brackets, close brackets, enter. Now we're going to do the key binds. Now first of all we're going to assign the keys to their function, but after that we're also going to remove the bind after the key is released. So let's do that. wn.onKeyPress. Make sure onKeyPress is a single word. Open brackets, lambda, colon, space, keys, capital P pressed, dot add, open brackets, open quotation marks, f, close quotation marks, close brackets, comma, space, open quotation marks, capital U up, close quotation marks, close brackets, enter. wn.onKeyPress, open brackets, lambda, colon, space, keys, capital P pressed, dot add, open brackets, open quotation marks, L, close quotation marks, close brackets, comma, space, open quotation marks, capital L left, close quotation marks, close brackets, enter. wn.onKeyPress, open brackets, lambda, colon, space, keys, capital P pressed, dot add, open brackets, open quotation marks, R, close quotation marks, close brackets, comma, space, open quotation marks, right, make sure right has a capital R, close quotation marks, close brackets, enter. Now we're going to remove the binds when the keys are released. wn.onKeyRelease. Make sure onKeyRelease is a single word. Open brackets, lambda, colon, space, keys, capital P pressed, dot remove, open brackets, open quotation marks, F, close quotation marks, close brackets, comma, space, open quotation marks, capital U up, close quotation marks, close brackets, enter. wn.onKeyRelease, open brackets, lambda, colon, space, keys, capital P pressed, dot remove, open brackets, open quotation marks, L, close quotation marks, close brackets, comma, space, open quotation marks, capital L left, close quotation marks, close brackets, enter, wn.onKeyRelease, open brackets, lambda, colon, space, keys, capital P pressed, dot remove, open brackets, open quotation marks, R, close quotation marks, close brackets, comma, space, open quotation marks, capital R right, close quotation marks, close brackets, enter. Now we're going to call the tick procedure. This is for player movement. Enter tick, open brackets, close brackets, enter, enter. Now we're going to use the time module to start a timer. Start capital T time, space equals space, round, open brackets, time dot time, open brackets, close brackets, enter. So what we've done here is we obtained the time from when we pressed run to how long it took to start the program. Enter. We're also going to create one for a new minute. This is for the Fright Night game mode. New, capital M minute, space equals space, round, open brackets, time dot time, open brackets, close brackets, enter, enter. Now we're going to set the hour in Fright Night, so we're going to set it to 9 PM. Hour, space equals space, 9, enter, enter. Now we're going to set alive to true. This is because we want to remain alive and we don't want it to end at the start. Let's do that. Alive, space equals space, true. Make sure true has a capital T. Enter, enter. Now that's all that we're going to do in this video. We're going to save the file first. Click on File, then click on Save. Now that the file is saved, let's close the Python programming window. In my next two videos, I'll post tutorials to continue programming the 2D zombie survival game in Python. I hope that this video was helpful for you. If you liked this video, please smash that like button and share it with your friends and family. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please click that red subscribe button below. If you have any questions or comments about this video, or if you'd like to get links for all of my previous videos, please contact me via email on 4techcenter@gmail.com. I have added it in the description box below. See you in the next video.